One second. So there is some problem. It doesn't show that I'm alive here. Just a second. I'll just confirm on this. Oh yeah, now it shows. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Alright, so let's get started with the introduction. So before I start, let me introduce myself. I'm Vani Kari, biology educator at Unacademy. I'm an engineer with bachelor's and master's degree in biotechnology and a B.Ed degree. Also a founder of a startup where I grow microgreens by vertical farming technology. So join with us in Telegram for homework and class notes. You can join the channel 9 and 10 biology and the Telegram channel of Unacademy ICSE and ISC books. So this link you can find in the description box. So go to the description box. So there you will find the link for 1 second. Just a second. Am I audible? Okay. So you can join with us in Telegram. So that is for homework and class notes. You can join the channel Vani Kari ICSE class 9 and 10 biology. Also, special classes are conducted on an academy platform where you can learn from your favorite educator for free. So engage with educators via polls. You can also clear your doubt in the live special class. So now for the top special classes, you can visit the link that is there in the description box. Now, the special classes are basically the free classes which are conducted on an academy platform. So here in this case only a certain percentage of topics will be covered, whereas in plus classes there is 100% syllabus coverage will be done. So with respect to that, you can basically in special classes you can learn from your favorite educator for free. You can engage with the educators via poll. Also you can clear your doubt in the live special class. And now again for the top special classes, you can visit the link in the description. So this is about the Unacademy subscription feature where you can learn live from the comfort of your home. Unlimited access to all the courses. Now different educators will come up with different courses. So you will have access to all the courses once you take the subscription. Okay, then top educators of India are going to take the classes in one platform. So that is Unacademy platform. There is regular doubt clearing session that will be done. So after about every 3 sessions, the fourth session will be a doubt clearing session. So whatever doubts you have related to the topics that are previously covered, so you can clear your doubt in this doubt clearing session. Okay, so answer writing session is basically the same one in the doubt clearing session. So let's say all your doubts are cleared, we still have a time, so we can discuss some question answers. We can also the practice the concepts or topics by the polls again. Okay, so basically quiz can be conducted and it is more of an interactive session. So complete syllabus, 100% syllabus coverage will be there. Mentorship mentorship and guidance will be given. Study material is also given, and along with that the practice tests will be conducted. Live test series are conducted and there are batch courses. So we have a batch in English, we have a batch in English. So you will have access to all the batches once you take the subscription. So there is daily practice section, weekly mock test series, live quizzes, daily MCQ and subjective test. You can also take a subscription for JEE as well as NEET and NTSC preparation. So for that all you need to do is go for this combo offer while you are preparing for class 9 or while you are preparing for your class 10, so you can go for these preparations. It is for those children who are starting their preparation early for all these competitive exam. So the cost is reduced from 34,500 to 31,050, and on top you will be getting 10% discount again with the code VANIYT. Okay, so this is the code. So with VANIYT you will be getting 10% discount on the subscription for both the cases. Okay, and also there is an offer which is going on where you can get 20% off on ICSE board plus subscription. So here you can take this offer, that is from 27th to 30th. So today is the last date of this offer. So you can subscribe now for the plus using, like, the link which is given, or all you can do is download the Unacademy Learners app and go for this. Okay, so now if you want to go for 9 months, so it is basically 14,950 was the, like, it is the current price, but with the offer you have been offered it with 11,960. So that is 2,990 is basically you will be saving that amount. So that is with the code again. So that is, you need to apply this code only, then you will be getting this 20% discount offer. Then 12 months we have this. So 12 months it is 17,250. And with the offer, so this is basically 13,800, and 18 months it is basically 23,000 is reduced to 18,400, so where you will be saving up to 4,600. So now depending on your comfort you can go for any of these months of subscription, and this is my referral code. Okay, so with this referral code, so you will be getting 20% discount on the subscription, and this is the regular amount that is there for the respective months. So before I continue, let me just check this. Okay, so floral primordium is tissue on the stem. Okay, so that develops into a flower. So in that case, let's see, there is a stem. Okay, so this stem is basically a modified stem itself is having, let's say here is a bud. Okay, so this bud can give rise to a flower there. So there is a intercalary meristem that might be there, which can give rise to a flower, or the floral primordium when we mentioned. Hi Raj, good evening. So this part also, now you can see again there can be flower, that can be like modification of tissue will occur here, and there can be the flowers which can be like you can see a new growth of a flower there. So depending on what type of a tissue is there, the stem itself is developing into a flower there. So now cluster of floral buds formed on the shoots, so that is in some species. So this is called as an inflorescence. So now you can see this is basically a modified stem is there, and you can see here is the flower over here, and you can see basically the branches can be seen, and in certain cases you can even see the flower. So now when such flowers, like many number of flowers you can see, so that is basically a inflorescence where number of flowers are arranged on a common floral axis. So one floral axis will be there. Okay, so 1 second, I'll just 1 second, because I did not add extra page here. Okay, that is added, right? Yeah. Yeah, so now here the stem that is gonna form a flower there. So cluster of floral buds form on the shoot. So that is in some species. So this is called an inflorescence. So the male reproductive part you can see the androecium. The female reproductive part you can see, so that is the gynoecium. So there is a development of these male and a female reproductive part can be seen on the flower. So with respect to that, we can say here, 1 second, I'll just show you this. Yeah. So now here is the flower. So there is a flower, so we can just draw the stigma style, and then there is ovary here. So stigma style ovary is there, okay. And other than that, you can also see there is a ovule which you can find attached to the placenta which is there inside, okay. Then you can see there are androecium and gynoecium. So this one is anyway gynoecium. You can see there is a androecium as well, okay. So this is I'm drawing from innermost to outermost. You can also draw it the other way, so that is from outermost to the innermost as well. Hi Raj, you can ask your question. Alright, so this way basically you can just represent many of the anthers, and like basically the stamens can be represented here, okay. So now there is a petal, so petal has to be drawn, so we can just draw a random petal over here as such, okay. So all these are basically placed onto what? So all these will be placed onto the thalamus here, because here a supportive structure. So I'll just change the color for thalamus so you can understand. So thalamus will be somewhat greenish in color. Okay, so placed on to the thalamus or a receptacle itself, you can find or different whorls which are placed onto that. So now this is the thalamus part, and we'll draw more petals again because here I haven't drawn. Okay, what is this color? Alright, so there is a petal formation that can be seen, okay, and there is a petal which can be drawn here as such. So there are more anthers can be found, alright. So then you can also find there is a sepal, so which is the outermost wall. So we can just show the sepals as such here itself. So sepals are also found. Okay, so now based on that, so there is you can just find the structural arrangement. So that is from outermost to the innermost. So outermost being what? The outermost is basically a sepal, okay. And then you can see there is a petal. So next one, next whorl, okay. So next whorl after the outermost, so that is a petal. Then you can see there is a stamen, okay, which is basically a androecium, all right. And other than that, you can see there is a carpel or the pistil, okay. So the carpel or pistil, so this is basically a gynoecium. So in that case, I'll just write this. So stamen, carpel. So this can also be called as a pistil too. And collective term, the stamen or androecium is mentioned. So you can just take it this way. So you can see this is being the outermost, this being the innermost whorl in the flower. So that is a bisexual flower. So you can find the male reproductive part, the androecium, and the female reproductive part. So that is the gynoecium. Okay. And so the flowers are the reproductive unit of the plant. Hi. Hi everyone. Not related to the topic anyway. So the flowers are the reproductive unit of the plant. So this is the reproductive unit. So why exactly this is a reproductive unit? As it contains the male part, as it contains the female reproductive part. So you can basically see there is, the production of pollen grain is also occurring, the production of the egg is also occurring, which makes it a reproductive part, because there itself there can be pollination, so there can be fertilization as well. Okay, so then the flower, when we mention, so flower is having four types of whorl, so this we already discussed. Okay, so in that case, one second. Yep. So you can find outermost being the calyx. So next there is a corolla, which is a petal. So collective terms we can say. So collective term is basically calyx when we mention. So this is the collective term for the sepal is a calyx. Collective term for the petal is the corolla. Collective term for the stamen, or even if it is individually, so we can just mention it to be androecium. And then there is gynoecium. So gynoecium is the female reproductive part, so this can be collective or individually also. So I'll just zoom this one so you can just have a look at this diagram. So you can see this diagram, right? Clearly now. So just have a look at these different parts. So you can see there is this part, the sepal part. So this one is basically as it is mentioned here. So it is mentioned as a receptacle. So this can be called as a receptacle, or this can even be called as a thalamus. Why it zoomed out? Yeah. So in that case, you can see there is an anther and filament. So then this is the stamen part. So this one is a petal, which is a collective term, is a corolla. Then one second, let me just have a look at this because I'm not able to find where exactly this is there. So then there is stigma, style, pollen tube and all. So this is basically stigma, style is there. So pollen tube growth is only after the pollination has occurred. And that's the reason you can see a growth of a pollen tube inside. So then this is basically stigma, style, ovary. So ovule. So all this will be basically pistil. And now the stem cross section that they have taken, where you can see xylem there, where you can see phloem there, and then there is a cambium. So vascular bundle, the stem of a dichotomous plant, where you can see this arrangement. So this is the structural arrangement that can be seen. So now flower is having four types of whorl. So that is calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium there. Okay. So here also the inflorescence is nothing but you can, whenever you have a look at this. So now this is, let's say, I'll just zoom this and explain you here as well. Okay, so now you can see this part, right? So if there is a flower here, so this is the common floral axis if we mention, okay? So this one is the common floral axis, and here you can see the growth of the flowers. So it is not just one flower, bundles of flowers can be found, and that is called as a inflorescence. So this is of a hibiscus. So hibiscus flower, when we mention again, this is the male. So same thing, but you can just have a clear picture of this. It is visible clearly. Yeah, I think now it is visible clearly, right? Yeah. So this is the arrangement that will be done in the body of a plant. So basically you can find a ovule there, and you can see this is the placenta. Attached to the placenta you can find the ovule. Okay, so there is an arrangement of ovule inside the ovary. All right, so moving on to next one. So the types of flowers are there. So different types of flowers when we mention. So this is basically the types of flowers. And there is a bisexual flower which is having both androecium and gynoecium. Okay, so this is having androecium and gynoecium. The unisexual flower when we mention, so this is having either stamen or the carpel. So I'll just show you in this hibiscus flower which one is exactly the bisexual, I mean, the anther and the filament. So you can see here these tiny structures which are over here. Okay, so this tiny structure you see here, or you want me to zoom this more? So this tiny structure which is available for you all, so that is stamen. Okay, so that means anther and the filament is there. So from the anther, so there is a pollen grain that is released, and these are actually the stigma. So stigma is basically receiving the pollen grain from there. So this part is actually the stigma. So let's have a look at this one. So now unisexual, when you observe, so it can either have the stamen part or the carpel part. Okay, so there is no both in this, and that's the reason we call this to be a unisexual flower. Oh, this one is done. So let's have a look at this. So structure of a bisexual flower. So flower is a specialized shoot in which the leaves are modified into floral structures. So first of all, there is a stalk which supports the flower. So some flowers may be without stalk, and the tip of the flower stalk may be expanded to form a cup-shaped receptacle thalamus. So the floral parts are borne on the thalamus, that is four whorls. So first whorl, the green sepal, collectively called as calyx. The second whorl, the large brightly colored petals, which is collectively called as the corolla. And then there is the third whorl. So this third whorl is basically a male part, so which is basically symbol for male, a long thread-like process somewhat projecting out, and each usually ending in a bilobed tip. So these are stamen, or the collective term is androecium. So each stamen consists of thread-like filament and the bilobed anther. So the fourth whorl is the female part. So symbol for female. So this is centrally located pistil that may be formed of a single female unit or of several fused carpel, which can be collectively called as the gynoecium. So each carpel consists of basal ovary, the middle style, and the uppermost stigma. So you can find, so this one I have already explained like what exactly is the outermost one. So outermost being the calyx, then the next one being the petal, the third one being the male reproductive part. So I can just clear this up. 1 second. So you can see the third one being the androecium, the fourth one being the gynoecium. Okay, so these are the different parts of a flower that can be seen. Okay, so now what exactly is complete or an incomplete flower? So complete flower, or which can even be called as a perfect flower, is one which contains all the floral whorls. Okay, so like there has to be androecium, there has to be gynoecium, then you can see there is a formation of 1 second. Yeah, so there is a formation of the calyx and the corolla. So certain cases the corolla, the corolla and the calyx, you cannot differentiate between them. So in that case we call it as a perianth, or otherwise anyway it has to have all of it, or like all the four whorls. then we say that this is a complete or the perfect flower. Okay, so this one is a complete flower or the perfect flower. Okay, and then other than that, so if one or more sets of floral structures are missing, the flower is called as a incomplete or imperfect. Okay, so this is said to be incomplete or imperfect flower. So the meaning is that, the flower is basically all the follicles are there. If any one is missing, so it is basically incomplete or imperfect. So it need not be the essential part or the non-essential. So essential is the one which are required for the reproduction. And now when we mention non-essential, they are not required for reproduction, but anyway they are required for the plant body. That means, now calyx and corolla, it's not that they are completely useless parts of the flower. Okay, so in that case, the calyx and corolla are required, which are actually providing a protection. Okay, so but they are not required for the reproduction, and hence essential parts with respect to reproduction, non-essential parts again with respect to reproduction. So that is non-reproductive. So these are the, so essential parts of a flowers are those that are directly concerned with the reproduction. So that is the male part and then the female part. The non-essential or the accessory parts are simply the helping parts which are providing a protection. So this is for a non-essential one, and they make the flower attractive. Okay, so how exactly are they making the flower attractive? So that is by producing different colored, like colored petals you can see. Then you can see also there is a growth of you know the nectar formation will be there, scent formation you can see. So these parts include the sepal and petals. So in some cases the petals and sepals are undifferentiated together, and that is called as a perianth. But when the perianth is non-green, okay, if it is green anyway it is called as a sepaloid. Okay, if it is non-green, because the petals are colorful, so they are not green, and that's the reason we can also call this as a petaloid. So in that case, let me just draw it here and explain. So now in this case, one second. Yeah, so here this is the flower that you can see. So in such kind of flowers, so basically you don't know whether this one is a petal or this one is actually the sepal, because there is a fusion. Or in certain cases you can see the leaf like this, which is, it is green in color, and you totally do not understand whether this is a sepal or a petal. So now based on that, if it is non-green, it is said to be a petaloid. If it is green, so it is said to be a sepaloid. Okay. So then there is column, then there is petal, so sepals and bracts you can find, floral tube which is fused with the ovary. So then there is dried perianth, so capsule developing fruit. Okay, so that is for the developing fruit, so you can just see the covering there. So this one is anyway floral tube, so this is a dried perianth. So you can see the petal there, you can see the sepal there. The bract is what? So below the flower, whenever you find, so let's see there is a flower. Okay, so below this flower you find the colorful leaf. Okay, so there is a colorful leaf formation that can be seen, and that we call as a bract. So now this is a leaf which is colorful. Okay, so this is basically a bract. So this is this is with respect to tepal or a sepal, like this you can see whether you don't know this, since it is somewhat greenish, or you cannot differentiate clearly over here. So in that case we can just call it to be a sepaloid there. Okay, so that is sepaloid when we mention. So basically clear differentiation is not done. So bract is basically when a flower arises in the axil of a leaf-like structure. So best example is basically bougainvillea. Okay. Um, I'm really sorry, this was actually stuck. My laptop, I don't know what was wrong. So it was actually stuck, so I was just fixing it and now I am back. So when a flower arises in the axil of a leaf like a structure, so you can see there is a flower, the tiny flower over here. So this is the tiny flower that you can see, okay, and base of this tiny flower is having many of the colorful leaves there, okay. So this is basically leaf. What do we usually think when we see a bougainvillea flower? So we think that this whole thing is a flower, so it is basically a leaf, okay. So this one is a flower and this whole thing what you see, so that is actually the leaf. All right, so now based on that, the bract can even be green, so just like an ordinary leaf, or at times they can be colorful as well. So the large and the colorful bract of the bougainvillea is easily mistaken for the petal. So the actual flower in this case is too small. Okay, so this is the actual flower and this is somewhat cylindrical as well. So that is attached on the inner side of the bract. So this is also the same thing. So you can see this one is actually the leaf and you can see this is the flower here. Okay, so that means I'll just show you this one clearly. So you can see this one. So this is what? This is actually leaf part. This is flower. So base of the flower is having a leaf structure. And this can be colorful also. This can be, just a normal one. Like now this is a colorful one. So or otherwise it can be regular colored, that is green color also it can be there. But this is the flower and this is the leaf. So it is a colorful leaf and we usually get that this is whole thing is a flower we think, which is not true. So this is the flower and this is the leaf and that is why we call this as a bract. So separate name is given for this. So nectaries are there, so that is most flowers produce a sweet fragrant liquid, so that is nectar. So groups of nectar secreting cells, so that is nectaries, are situated usually at the base of the pistil. Okay, so now you can see here is the sepal mentioned, the petal mentioned, nectar is mentioned. So nectaries are situated usually at the base of the pistil. So let's say the pistil might be arising from here. So base of the pistil is where you find a nectarine. Okay, so now or on the basis of the petal. So base of the petal also you can find a nectarine. So the nectar attract insects like honeybees. So that is for cross pollination. But in some cases nectaries are very prominent as in nasturtium. Okay. All right. So any doubt? So example, you can just remember these examples. So you can see this is the base of the ovary here. Okay. So base of the pistil you see there is a floral nectary which is present. Okay. And extra floral nectary you can still find there. So this is easybiologyclass.com. So from there it is taken and here this is a nectary again. So I'll just zoom this. Clear? So you can see here is the nectary, here is the nectary. Okay, so this is completely a nectary itself. So perianth is what? Perianth is a condition in which calyx and corolla are not distinct. Calyx is present but corolla is absent. Corolla is present but calyx is absent. Calyx and corolla are not present. Okay. So perianth is basically the calyx and corolla are not distinct. So typical flower is having four different kinds of whorls which are arranged on end of the stalk. So that is or pedicel. So which can be called as peduncle, thalamus, receptacle, both B and C. So thalamus or the receptacle, so it is one and the same. So it is both B and C here. So proximal end of the filament of stamen is attached to where? So proximal with respect to the thalamus, and that's the reason. So thalamus or the petal. Alright, so before I end this session, so let me just say about this. So that is the community that we have, where you can join our community on basically in description you can find the link for this. So you can go to the description box and click on the community link. And also we have this batch which is started on June 1st, but yes, there is one more batch, that is Avengers batch, is coming in July 13. It is starting, so you can go ahead with that batch as well. Whereas the mode of delivery here is English. In this batch the mode of delivery is English. So once you take the subscription, so you will have access to both the batches. If you are subscribing for class 9, you will be getting class 10, class 11 and class 12 subscription absolutely free with this. So there is a offer also which is going on for class 9 as well as for class 10. So class 9 you can also prepare your journey with for JEE and NEET, and also class 10 also can prepare their journey for JEE and NEET and NTSC. So basically for both of you. So there is an offer where the cost is reduced from 34,500 to 31,050. Here also it is reduced from 34,500 to 31,050. Okay. So where you will be getting 10% discount on the subscription with the referral code VANIYT. Okay, so this is the code VANIYT where you'll be getting 10% discount on the subscription. Right now as the offer is going on, so that is June 27 to 30th. So you can go for this offer where you can again use this code. So today is the last day of this offer. So you can use my code VANIYT to get 20% discount on the subscription, where for 12 months you will be just paying 13,800 instead of 17,250, and you will be saving up to 3,450. So you can go with this subscription. You can even go for the higher months, or if you just want to try, you can try with 9 months of subscription as well. So there is a bugs bounty. This is basically opportunity for all learners to report any content, like inappropriate content in the video. So be the first one to report a particular issue to claim your prize. Report any inappropriate content using the form in the description. Alright, we are done with today's session. So thank you all. So see you all in the next session. So subscribe to our channel. Click on bell icon to get notified about the session. Download the Unacademy Learners app. So this one anyway PDF that I have made. So it is anyway taken from Selena. So you can just read the Selena, or if you just want these notes, I can even send it on my Telegram or on community. So just ping me there. I'll be sending it over there. So like and share the video. So see you all in the next session. Bye bye everyone. Thank you all.